Welcome to OZTV. Here we talk about everything that you need to know. We talk about family, we talk about relationships, we talk about children, homes. We talk about virtually everything. So I want you to subscribe, like, comment, click on the notification bell for more videos coming up, and watch out for a new show coming up called Spit It All. Thank you. Hello everyone and welcome to OZTV. My name is Oziama Anajeku, and today we'll be talking about can all pastors play the role of counselors. And with me in the house today is our counselor Joy Zoho and our pastor Abraham Moses. You're all welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so my question now goes this way. Who is a counselor? Who is a counselor?
A counselor is someone that is trained to give advice based on the challenge or on the problem.
Okay.
That's what a counselor is.
Okay. So, as a pastor, do you think pastors play the same role as counselors?
Yes, but not all the pastors are gifted in that area.
Okay, you have to be gifted in that area.
There are some that's their own area. It's not every pastor that's a counselor. There are people that are professional counselors, that's their own area of specialization. Just like pastor, we have some that are deliverance pastor, that are reading pastor. There are some that are good on counseling. It's not every pastor that's a counselor.
Okay, so but most pastors, they are always counseling their members. I don't think I'm hearing this for the first time that it's not all pastors that are counselors, because to my own understanding, most churches, like Pentecostal churches, they believe that there are some family challenges that you may have, and the best place to get or seek counseling is from the pastor.
Okay, I will tell you what I mean by that.
Okay.
But everybody has their own areas of specialization.
Okay, like calling.
That's where I'm going to.
Okay.
Some people are gifted enough to counsel people.
Okay.
That's why I said it's not every pastor that are gifted in that. Some can just pray, some they are only to preach, some they are only to do deliverance, all this stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I'm trying to bring out.
Okay. So here now, in marriages, do you think counselors, like pastors now, help like issues in the home more than counselors, basically?
I'm going to say it's in two ways. The Bible says in Psalm 1, it says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor seated in the seat of his comfort." What I'm trying to say is that as long as the counsel is godly,
Okay.
there are godly counsel and there are ungodly counsel. Let me take the instance of Ahithophel. There's a counsel of, it was normally the counselor of David. But when the son of David, Absalom, turned against David, Ahithophel is one I used to give counsel to David. But after some time, he turned against David, and David prayed one prayer because the son of Absalom, Ahithophel wanted to give counsel to Absalom. And David says, "Oh God, turn the counsel of Ahithophel to foolishness." So there are counsels that are godly and there are ones that are ungodly.
So what's your take on that?
For church, because they are familiar with the family in question,
Okay.
I'm going to say it this way. Most of the time, motive and interest play.
Interest of.
The interest maybe the pastor have on the family,
Okay.
or the motive of what he wants to achieve in that family comes to play.
Okay.
You see, the counseling somehow becomes, for the ones that are gullible, pastors that are gullible, not all. For pastors that are gullible, you find out that a lot of interest comes to play, and then motive they have behind the advice
The advice they're going to
they are going to give. But for the ones that might not be familiar or that are familiar, most of the time they give you good counsel, but it depends on the family if you will take it or not.
Okay.
But in this part of our world, Nigeria more especially, we play down so much. It's hard for you to see husband
Stainless Styles is a fashion brand centered in making you look elegant, yet catering to your fashion needs. For more inquiry call 090246222078 or send a mail to stainlessstylesforyou@gmail.com.
While saying they are going to see a counselor over things, it has always been pastors.
Yes, that's true.
They leave the place of a counselor to things that have to do with school and children.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're opening an office here and say, what you do basically is to counsel husband and wife, you see that you die of hunger. Because they don't actually attach importance to, let me go and see a counselor to talk to two of us.
Exactly.
But in the real sense, a counselor is trained to get to the root of why that thing is there.
Okay.
Because the person's question will be based on, when did this start? How have you been relating? What is going on now? At what point did you start noticing it? What do you think that you have to break down what you have told him or her to get to what is actually causing that particular problem and present it before the both of you and give you therapy for that.
Okay. But do you think all counselors are educated enough to handle all issues?
Now, before I go to your question, but you see, in this part of our world, things that are naturally we're supposed to solve with our mind or brain, when there are some pastors that will begin to categorize it as being spiritual. We push things to being everything is spiritual. I am not ruling out the fact that several family problems are spiritual. Okay. I am not ruling it out. But there are several things that naturally you're supposed to know when you know the good and you know the bad. And you're supposed to know when to apply wisdom in some things. Okay. When not to allow things to go overboard. Yeah. When not to know how to draw a line when it comes to certain issues. Okay. You understand? Let me give you an example. Yes, husband and wife must quarrel. Yeah. It is normal for husband and wife to have issues. Now, it could get to a point where it becomes maybe interference of families going diabolical and all that and all that and all that, Yes, I can attach being spiritual to it. You have to pray, you have to cancel by a pastor, pray, bind, cast, destroy. Now, it gets to a point where you know that it is not actually a quote spiritual thing for you to begin to, most of those things, maybe the woman don't know how to cook, maybe the woman is not giving the man attention. Yes. You know that those ones are not something to bind and cast. It has to do solely with the person. You tell the person, this is your issue. You understand me? Just like as we generally say, God does not like divorce. But you know that the moment it has to do with a threat to the woman's life, that her life is at stake, because a lot of us have actually died in, I don't want to go out, what people will say, how it will go. You find out that a lot of pastors will actually will tell you, stay there, keep praying, keep binding, keep casting, and all that. Let me give you an example of a person that you know that your husband, there's a particular room you cannot enter in the house. You begin to notice that the man has a particular room you don't enter. You begin to notice some occurrences happening. You go to your pastor and tell your pastor, you people will start praying, binding, casting, destroying, but you still see that the man is not coming out of that thing. It's obvious that he's in a cult, and some things are going on.
So you need spiritual
attention. And in needing spiritual attention, there is a point, because the person is counseling you. The person is actually counseling you. So the person knows when you keep reporting and keep bringing issues over time, because anybody counseling you, you don't just withdraw or stay far from the person. So the more, just like where a patient goes to doctor to report I'm having this pain or that and that. So it gets to a point where the pastor must have looked at that thing critically and spiritually and know that this is not a battle you have to fight within. You don't have to sit with him and keep fighting that battle within. Let me give you a scenario. Someone was telling me, in fact, he's a known person, well known in Nigeria, about a friend that Her husband lock the gate, tell the security man she shouldn't cross the gate. Why? Because he knows she goes to church, and most of the prayers keep spoiling
what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. So the lady was shot inside the house. Now she lost her first child, lost the second one. Now remaining 2. She had 4 children. And nobody passes.
Looking for any generator, tractor, and trailer servicing parts? You are sure to get the best in durability and quality at affordable prices. For further inquiries call 0803308748 or send an email to azibesselt@gmail.com.
So keep telling you, stay there, keep binding, keep praying. Now it got to a point where she had to meet another prophet. And the prophet said, no, this is the time to run for your dear life. Now she now started looking for a way to run. Because in fact, the man gave instruction to the main entrance of the estate that she cannot be able to move.
Yeah.
Now, by so doing, she began to see it as a pointer that she's at risk. Maybe she might be the next person to go.
Yeah.
So, and anywhere she wants to go to, the man will say, go with, so driver will carry her, give her an escort. They will go with her, bring her back to the house. Stay with her there. So one of those days, she now tried to make her way out. In fact, entered the boot of a car.
So that when they drive out,
they will not know. And that was how she escaped. That was how she was able to escape. So when the car was parked, I can't really remember, I think they sent the driver to go get something for her because she cannot even go to the market. So she entered, before they dropped her head, she has entered something like that. I can't really place the story. So that was how she was able to escape. What am I trying to say in essence is, when you're giving someone advice, you have to be sensitive. You have to be very, very sensitive. As a counselor, as a pastor, you must be very, very sensitive. In as much as I know, in our context as Nigerians, you don't tell a woman to leave her husband's house.
Definitely.
But you present options to her and allow her to make the choice.
That's true.
Do you understand? So, but you have to be very sensitive to know when to tell her there is a danger sign. There is a signal, there's a pointer to somewhere. You understand? So your second question is, what was the second thing you asked?
What was that?
Before
counseling help marriages.
Marriages.
Yeah.
Now, counseling helps marriages for the ones that want to adhere to what you're saying. If they choose to, my son, attend to my words, incline my ears to my saying. It is only when they incline and put their heart to it that it will yield for them. You will force a horse to the stream, but you cannot force it to drink water. So when you advise someone, you don't force that person to take it. It's only an opinion. An opinion is subject to be taken or not. So it's either the pastor advice I take, or you seek a counsel and the person takes or not. But my question to every man or woman, who is the Elizabeth in your life?
Okay, in this era now, a lot of people tend to go outside their church for counseling. That's from their church, they don't take counsel from their own man of God. That's what I mean. They like to take counsel from outsiders, like counselors. There's some people that do that, or go to another church for counseling. Do you think that the reason for that is because the man of God, their pastor, is sometimes using their problems to preach in church?
This statement you just made, I know of a sister. I love a man of God, I know of a sister. Whenever they have issue in family, the one will come to the pastor. And whenever the pastor wants to come up, he will use that particular issue to preach. And the lady could not take it again. It's not once, it's not twice, it's not three. That's why I said most pastors, they are not gifted in that area. There are some people who don't know how to handle something. Some of them, what I just want to complete is that as long as the counsel is godly, But pastors, they are more spiritual than physical.
Okay.
But the counselor, they are trained in that area. They can tell you this is the root of the problem. I know of somebody, he has an issue with the husband. Before the husband say one thing, you say 20. Sorry to say, women you can speak 1,000 words per minute.
Yes, that's true.
Before the husband said, one day he went for counseling. He went to a pastor. The pastor did not give good counseling. They now went to a specialist. And the person said, this is what you will do. He said, anything else to do, I will do it. He said, when your husband is talking, tell them.
Having skin problems or want to glow and have a flawless skin? Contact Stainless Beauty World for all your skin issues. For more inquiry call 09024622078 or send a mail to stainlessbeautyworld4you@gmail.com.